Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Shelley Robbins. I'm the Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, and I thank you for logging in today to see what the School of Arts and Sciences has to offer you. I'm going to share a slide presentation with you to talk about the School of Arts and Sciences and what it is that we do and what majors we have to offer and what your experience would be with us here at Holy Family. So let me share that slideshow with you. Just to introduce myself again, I'm Dr. Shelley Robbins. I am the Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Gina McKenzie is our Associate Dean. And so she does a lot of work like working with students who have questions about a class they're taking or the way a course is going for them, or she also assigns faculty to classes, and she does the scheduling for classes for the School of Arts and Sciences. So it's possible at some time you might meet Dr. McKenzie. She's very, very helpful, so I encourage you to do that. In the School of Arts and Sciences, we have a variety of things that we do for any student at Holy Family. One of those things is that we supply what's called general education. General education is a set of courses that all students have to take, unless you've transferred that in from somewhere else as a transfer student. All four-year students are expected to take 45 credits of general education. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what those are and why we have them. Every university has them, but I'm going to tell you what makes them special at Holy Family. I'm also going to talk about 12 different disciplines that are associated with majors here at Holy Family and the concentrations that fall under those majors. We also have a variety of minors that you can use to tailor your major. So you can be majoring in psychology with a minor in childhood studies, for example, and that allows you to focus your studies within your major. And from time to time throughout talking about the various majors, I'm going to talk about some of those minors that fit really well there. And then finally, Arts and Sciences is the home to our study abroad program. And every year we offer at least 2 opportunities for students to do a short-term faculty-led study abroad. Unfortunately, this year we had to cancel those opportunities. We're very sad about that. But we have tours up and running for next year for 2021, and I'm going to tell you what those are and share with you some of the destinations that we visited in the past and let you know just what that program looks like. So let's start with general education. General education is a 45 credit program. It is designed to give you those skills that we know employers are looking for. So regardless of what major you choose, and what career path you're going to follow, there are certain basic skills that all employers want to see in an employee. And so those things are oral and written communication, that you know how to speak well to an audience, that you know how to write well. And so you'll be part of our general education means that you'll be taking classes in writing, classes in public speaking. Critical thinking is another one of those skills that employers are looking for, that you can take information presented to you and think about it in a new way, think about it critically, and come up with a solution that maybe hasn't been out there before. So we do have courses that are designed to develop and demonstrate your critical thinking. Another opportunity we give you is courses in technological competence. So you'll be expected to take a lab science course and a math course so that you can demonstrate that you are technologically competent to an employer. Our general education, finally, is aligned to the mission of the university. The mission of Holy Family University is one of social justice, of equality, and equal opportunities for everyone. And so we have courses in global awareness and social consciousness as part of general education that help fit that social justice mission of the university. Finally, every student at Holy Family, whether you're a transfer student or a regular four-year student, has to take a general education capstone course we call Gen Ed 400. And Gen Ed 400 is a course that changes its theme every year and allows students to work in groups to address some social problem that is affecting our society. In the upcoming school year, 2020 and 2021, the theme of the Gen Ed 400 course is human rights. And so in this course, students work in groups. There's some civic engagement opportunities there to go out and do projects in the community to help us understand human rights better. So that's just an idea of our general education. There are a lot of opportunity, a lot of choices that you have within parts of that. For example, social consciousness, there are a number of courses that you get to choose from. There's a foreign language requirement that's part of our global awareness. So for example, you can choose to study Spanish, French, or Italian, or if you've taken a language somewhere else, you can transfer something in. We're going to get to the majors. When we talk about majors within the School of Arts and Sciences, I want you, when you meet with us over Zoom, to talk about the following things. There are concentrations. Many of our majors, it's a larger, broad major, but within that major, there are different concentrations, and you'll see what I mean by that in just a few minutes. But for example, within the art major, you can major in studio art, graphic design, art therapy, things like that. So there are different ways that you can be an art major at Holy Family. There are different ways you can be a biology major at Holy Family, and you'll see what those are. All of our majors have internship opportunities. For some majors, those internships are required, and for some they are available, but there's always an internship opportunity available to you. And that is coordinated through our Office of Experiential Learning. And that office starts working with people in their freshman year just to start building those ideas for what kind of internship experience you're looking for when your senior year comes, and how will you be prepared for that opportunity. And that office will work with you throughout your 4 years at Holy Family, so that when it does come time for your internship, that you will be able to choose an internship that fits you, that fits your career goals, and that is something exciting for you to do. It's a great opportunity for you to network in your field, and a lot of people do get jobs right out of their 4-year degree at the places where they've done their internship. For some of our majors, there's the opportunity to do research with faculty members, and that is a great opportunity, particularly if you're interested in going on to graduate school after your 4 years with us. And I'll talk more about a couple of those. And then we have minors, lots of minors throughout arts and sciences that give you an extra edge within your field. And I will talk about those as well. So let's just get right down to these disciplines that I talked about. The first one is art. And under our art major, we have concentrations in studio art, so that you can be a studio artist, in graphic design, and this is more computer-based. In pre-art therapy, this is a service-based art degree for students who are interested in becoming art therapists. We do have an art therapy program at the master's level. So if you're interested in pursuing that, you could do the pre-art therapy undergraduate degree in our art program and then move directly into our master's program in art therapy. And that program in art therapy does make you eligible for a certificate and licensure as a counselor when you're done with that. And then finally, art education. So if you're interested in being an art teacher, we have that concentration under our arts program so that you can be an art educator. For all of these opportunities, internships are available. They are not required for the art majors, but they are available. And we highly recommend them. Typically, it's the students in pre-art therapy and graphic design who choose that internship opportunity. In the art education area, you do have to do a semester of teaching, student teaching. So for the art education, you should consider that as a requirement, that student teaching. Okay, I'm going to cover these in alphabetical order. So our next major in alphabetical order is biochemistry. Biochemistry is an important major because it is the pathway to pharmacy school. And for a lot of students who are interested in becoming a pharmacist, they'll be seeking out majors in biochemistry. Our students in biochemistry have gone on to several healthcare fields in addition to pharmacy school. It is a great launch pad to go into medical school. We have students who've gone in to get a combined PhD and MD in medical schools as well. The biochemistry program has a required internship. One of the minors that we have that pairs really well with a biochemistry degree is the minor in forensic sciences. So if you are interested in being that person in the lab who evaluates the crime scene evidence, this is a great pairing for you. Many people think that lives in criminal justice, but it really doesn't. It's a science degree. So the biochemistry with a minor in forensic science would get you in the door for a job in forensic analysis. Our biology degree is complex. There are many concentrations under the biology degree. We have a degree in general biology, and that is a great launch pad for you if you want to go in to work in the pharmaceutical industry, to be a science writer, to go on to graduate school in biology. We also have a concentration in biology education. This is for people who want to be high school biology teachers. And for this concentration, your required internship is your semester of student teaching. And then beyond those two, we have concentrations in pre-med, pre-physical therapy, and pre-physician's assistant. I will reiterate that all of these have internship requirements. And just to highlight for you a couple of special things that come out of this, we do have a pre-healthcare club. That is a student-run club, and they bring in speakers and they go on field trips and with a lot of student input. But we also have a pre-healthcare committee, and that committee consists of our faculty members and alumni who are physicians, physical therapists, and physician's assistants. And this committee convenes in the spring to meet with those students who are applying to medical school, physical therapy school, physician assistance programs, and they work with you on your application. They do mock interviews, and then they write letters of recommendation for those students to get into those programs. I will say that over the past 3 years, all the students who have applied to medical school, pre-physical therapy, pre-physician's assistant, or physical therapy school, physician's assistant school, veterinary school, dental school. There were a small number, they're like 10 people, but all of them were accepted. And so this pre-healthcare committee does a really great job, and we get results for our students. So if you're interested in one of these healthcare fields, the biology major with one of these tracks or concentrations would be the place for you. Moving on to criminal justice. Our criminal justice program has a 3-pronged focus. So the criminal justice courses focus on law enforcement. They also focus on court systems, and they focus on correctional side of criminal justice. So if you're interested in working with the police, that would be law enforcement. If you're interested in working in the courts, that would be the court systems. And if you're interested in working in prisons, that would be the corrections focus. The criminal justice program does require an internship, and we find students internships in law enforcement, court systems, or corrections based on their interests. We have a lot of really good connections in the region, including some of our alumni who are police officers, who are detectives, who are wardens of prisons in the area, who work in the courts. So we have a lot of good contacts in the area. This is the first place I'm going to talk about this. We have what's called a 4+1 program in our criminal justice major, and that allows you, when you're a senior, to start taking classes in our master's program in criminal justice. And what that allows you to do is to get early admission to the master's program, and the graduate level classes you take during your senior year are just part of your regular tuition. So you're not paying the extra master's level tuition for that. And it allows you to knock out a couple of classes before graduation with your bachelor's degree, so that you can then enter the master's program with a certain number of courses already done. It's typically a 2-year master's program. So we call this a 4+1 because you do that 1 year in your senior year, and then you have 1 year left in the master's program. So that is an option. You would apply for this in the spring of your junior year. Okay, our English major is becoming quite popular. We have a regular English major, and then we have English secondary education for those of you who want to be English high school teachers. The focus of our English major is on both writing and literature, and you can do more heavy writing, more heavy literature, depending on what it is that you're looking for. Internships are available here, and that is really important to know. We often find our students internships where someone needs writing assistance or somebody needs assistance with putting together materials for a book. And our students do very well in those areas. We have two publications that fall under our English department. One of those is Folio, that's our literary magazine, and students are encouraged to submit their writing to Folio. And the second is Trilight, which is our student newspaper, and both of these are coordinated by our faculty in the English program. We have a new minor in creative writing. I'm sorry, that's a typo there. A minor in creative writing, and that creative writing minor includes creative fiction, creative nonfiction, and poetry writing. So we have courses in all of those, and they are key elements of the minor in creative writing. I'm going to move on to history. In history, we have a regular history major, straight history major, and we have a history secondary education major for those of you interested in becoming high school history teachers. Again, the secondary education concentrations require that year of student teaching, and so we set that up for you and get you out there in the teaching world. Internships in history are available. So let's say in addition to the student teaching, or if you're a straight history major, you would like to do an internship. We're in the Philadelphia region, and what better place to do an internship in history? So we have students working with various museums in the area to catalog their collections or create special exhibits. So these are some opportunities that students have in our history major. And our history major, you will have a focus both in US history and global history. We have a major called Interdisciplinary Humanities, which is a very interesting major. This allows you to put together for yourself a focused major combining different disciplines within the humanities. So you can take and you sit down with an advisor and you choose courses and you choose your concentrations within interdisciplinary humanities. You choose 3 of these areas. History, art, we've talked about philosophy. We have a lot of philosophy courses, not a philosophy major, but we have a lot of philosophy courses, literature, theology, and languages. So you can choose any 3 of these and combine them together to say that you're going to look at the history of Spanish art, for example. And so you can combine history, art, and language in that way. We do have internships available for students in the interdisciplinary humanities. And I think it's a really interesting point of reference that the person who's in charge of our experiential learning office, who's in charge of helping students get these internships, is actually a graduate of Holy Family with a degree in interdisciplinary humanities. So she is definitely a champion of this program. Next, I'm going to talk about math. We have a degree in mathematics, and we have a major in mathematics secondary education for those of you who would like to become a high school math teacher. Mathematics is one of those majors where an internship is required, and we have really good success in finding internships for our math majors. One of the minors that we have available that applies very well with a math major is a minor in actuarial science. So if you're looking for that, I'm understanding that this is a hard minor to find these days. We do have that. Now we're going to move on to our major in neuroscience. This is a hot topic right now, and it's a very exciting new major for us. This combines the neuroscience elements of biology and psychology majors. So we're looking at brain and behavior, basically. And students have used this major to be a pathway to graduate school in psychology, graduate school in biology, or medical school, because this is a really focused major. Internships are available for neuroscience majors, and I encourage it strongly. We also have faculty here who have a lot of very active research going on in-house, both on the psychology side and the biology side. We have a zebrafish laboratory at Holy Family, and if you're not familiar with the zebrafish, they are a very interesting, very tiny, small fish whose nervous systems are remarkable. They do very interesting things, and the life cycle of a zebrafish is short enough that you can watch brain development. And so we've got some very interesting research going on, and we use that zebrafish lab in some of the neuroscience courses. And then with the psychology piece of it, we do have psychology faculty doing brain and behavior type research. And so students can be active in that research or do independent research in neuroscience. Psychology, always a popular major, and certainly near and dear to my heart because that was my major. I am a psychologist. We use a variety of minors here because psychology is a pretty broad field, and we know that a lot of people are going to come get a psychology major and then want to go right out into the field. And so we created several minors to help you focus your major in psychology to that specific field that you're interested in pursuing. So for example, we have a minor in childhood studies. You can be a psychology major with a minor in childhood studies, and that prepares you to go out and work in daycare centers and things of that nature. We have a minor in gerontology, so that if you're interested in working with older adults, you want to go work in a nursing home setting or a retirement community setting, which is what my field is, then you can do a psychology major with a gerontology minor. If you're interested in providing services, you could take a psychology major with a mental health services minor. And that's going to give you all that, how to talk to people, how to interview people, psychopathology, abnormal psych kind of focus. And we have been creating a lot of elective coursework in autism and behavior analysis because we know that a lot of psychology majors go out and work in wraparound services for autistic children. Psychology does require an internship, and that's really helpful to you because then you get out there, you get your feet wet in the field, you network, you meet people, and a lot of students get jobs based on their internship experience. Psychology is one of those areas where there is a lot of independent research available if students want to do independent research with a faculty member. This is also an area where we have a 4+ program. So we have a master's program in counseling psychology. Coming out of that master's program, you're eligible for licensing as a professional counselor. You can start taking those classes in your senior year in your psychology major. You apply in your junior year, and then you can take 2 classes in the summer, a class in the fall, a class in the spring, and you complete 4 courses towards that master's degree before you graduate with your bachelor's degree. Our master's program, I should say, also has tracks within it. In the master's program, you can do community mental health, you can do school guidance, you can do correctional counseling, and you can do art therapy. You can also choose a 36-credit master's, which is sort of our fast track into our doctoral program in psychology, which is a PsyD. So if that's your end game, and I know that's down the line for you, but if that's what you think that is your career path, that path is there at Holy Family, and it's all laid out for you. And I would love to talk to you guys about the psychology pathways. Finally, we have a religious studies major, and that incorporates various areas of theology, from comparative theology to the Catholic moral tradition, and teaching you a historical critical method of inquiry. You're going to learn theology in this program, and it is a great base for those of you who are interested in going and teaching religion in Catholic schools or moving on to the seminary. This is a great major for you. We have some amazing faculty in this area. Internships are available for those in religious studies major as well. Okay, so what's next? Thank you for sitting through my presentation of all the majors. So what's next? Sign up for a time to talk more about your interests. We have Zoom meetings set up for June, July, and August, 2 each month. And that would be with me, and I can answer more of your questions. But if we're going to dig a little bit deeper, I'd like to connect you up with faculty in your major of interest, because they're going to be able to tell you the nuts and bolts of what it's like to be, what they expect of you in this major. And then finally, what I think is the most telling, is to connect you with students who are currently studying in that major, because they're going to tell you what it's like to actually be a student in that major. So I would like to see your faces if you sign up to talk more with me in one of the Zoom meetings, and then we'll move from there to connect you with faculty and students. And then finally, I promised I would talk to you a little bit about study abroad. We've been doing annual study abroad opportunities since 2006 with a company called EF Tours. And in my experience and my research, they are really the best at doing what they do. These are not full semester study abroad. These are short-term faculty-led study abroad opportunities. And what that means is short-term, they are 8 to 14 days on average. Faculty-led means the faculty member goes with you. So there's a group of students and at least one faculty member. The larger the group, the more faculty go to keep track of things and keep everybody, accounted for. We lead one tour during spring break and one right after graduation in May. And so where have we been? We have been to these places. I think I've left a few off. I know I didn't put Austria there, or Scotland. I know we've been to those. But some of the larger places that we've been that stand out to me: Italy, France, England, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Japan, China, Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Greece, Spain, Morocco. And we have done all kinds of interesting things at these places, so that we have gone to the top. Last year, we went to the top of one of the Alps by this amazing cogwheel railroad. So we've been to the top of the Alps. We've been to the Great Barrier Reef and went snorkeling with the big fish in Australia. So we have been to the top and the bottom of the world. We have sampled foods of all cultures. We have learned enough language to get us around. We have learned amazing, intricate subway systems in France and England and Japan. And we have ridden camels in Morocco, and we have gone to see Turkish carpets woven by hand. So I can't say enough about these trips, because we really do have a very good time, and we learn a ton. We just learn so much about the world. And so I encourage you to look into these opportunities. What's next for us? We do have tours planned for 2021. Unfortunately, the 2020 tours were canceled because of the coronavirus. And I'm very sad about that, because we look forward to these all year. For March 2021, we do have a tour scheduled to depart during spring break. It's a tour of France that I will be leading, including time in Paris, going into the Loire Valley, and then Mont Saint-Michel. If you don't know that, it is a town built on a rock with a big cathedral at the top. And it is on an island that is surrounded by water at high tide and surrounded by dry land at low tide. So it's kind of remarkable to see. And then the Normandy beaches, where the Allied troops landed during World War II. And we'll go to the American cemetery there. So that's our March tour that we have planned. June 2021, the biology department is leading this, but anyone can go, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's a trip to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. So we'll spend some time in Ecuador learning about the culture there, but then spending a considerable amount of time in the Galapagos Islands, where Darwin wrote his theories of evolution. So if you are an adventurous sort, come with us. I spearhead this effort, and I have passport applications in my office at all times. I've done many, many, many of these tours. I go at least one a year. So think about that. And I have definitely love to talk about our study abroad opportunities. So for more information, you're going to sign up for a virtual session. We'll get that information out to you. You can also send me an email. This is my email, srobbins@holyfamily.edu, and I will connect you with faculty in your intended major. And I want to thank you for your interest in Holy Family. We say that family is our middle name. Get it? Holy Family University. But it really is a place where we all feel like family. We all take care of one another. We all stick together, and we continue to have contact with our students long after they graduate. It really is that kind of place. So, um, I do hope that you will follow up and chat with me via one of the online meetings that we have set up for the summer. And I'll be able to see you this way via video, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Thank you for listening.